All right, going with another great storytelling track. Now, what makes this one different from some of the last ones we did is that this is an R&B track. Another significant point that I want to call out is it actually reminds me a lot of your brother, you too, but this was in like, the song dropped in 2000. It was like the LimeWire days. I
So
remember.
actually, LimeWire actually came a little bit after. That was still Napster days.
Okay, yes. Okay, thanks for the correction. Yes, this
Yeah,
was Napster days.
yeah,
And I just remember you guys had just moved into the Ogden Dunes house, and your brother was always on the computer, and I was always nearby. But for some reason, I remember hearing this song, I think for the first time, being next to your brother at the computer. And the song I'm talking about is Craig David's Fill Me In.
yes, yes. You know what's crazy too? Today marks the 25-year anniversary of when 7 Days came out.
Dude, that's crazy. See, it was meant to be. It was meant to be that I was doing this then. And it's
Absolutely.
funny. It's funny too because I've been seeing Craig David kind of circulate on social media lately. I forgot who invited him to their show, but someone pulled him up on stage and he performed. But yeah, no, I feel like Craig David felt like the boy really got, the shine. Maybe too because he was British, and back then, the
Yeah,
Brits, were, not as big as American artists. And then two, that would have been like, what, early 2000s, late 90s, like, kind of the boy band stuff was going on and R&B artists. But yeah, for this topic specifically, Fill Me In, great storytelling track because it's about young love, kind of teenage love, and it was, he was sneaking out and meeting a girl, and she was sneaking him in the house when her parents were out, and
yeah.
it just, and at the time, we would have been like 10, 11 years old, and so it was like, I think that mix of like, I understood what was going on in the song, but then it was like kind of cool and sleek, and the way he sang about it
Right.
was just dope. But he's got the, why were you creeping out late last night?
Last
See, I
night.
see two shadows moving in the bedroom light. Now you're dressed in black. When I left, you were dressed in white. Can you fill me in? So he does that,
Yeah.
and then I think the second verse, he's like, so I knocked on the door. I was standing with the keys in the hand with the 4x4, jumped in my ride, checking that nobody saw. But just overall, dude, it
That's
was
my favorite part of the whole song is that
yes,
intro
dude.
part of the second verse. Yes.
And the way he just broke it down, it was like, man, it was cool, it was sleek. It was like a sexy song back then, and then the boy had
Hmm.
pipes. So I think just the combination of that made that, a storytelling track that obviously, it's on the R&B side, it's not hip hop, but it gets overlooked. And again, Craig David, man, didn't get the shine that he, maybe should have got.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
that was a I think too that was why his style I think didn't last as long as it probably should have because he made really great songs, but I think at the time was like you said the boy bands were still popping. The
Yeah.
Brits only had very few people come in at the time. Like Mark Morrison is British too, and
Yeah,
he
that's
only
right.
had that one big single. So it was like certain things, but 7 Days Fill Me In, and then I'll never forget too. People don't really remember the 7 Days remix that Mos Def was on.
I don't remember that either.
I feel like that was a cool cookout party like track to sneak in there if you wanted to play R&B.